Some calls don't ask for answers. They come to end a chapter you didn't even know was being written without you. This was one of those calls, and I wasn't ready for it. I hadn't heard her voice in 5 months. Not since the day she walked out of my apartment with a half smile and 3 words I still wake up to sometimes. This isn't right. She didn't cry. She didn't yell. She just ended it. After 2 years of building a life together, date nights, moving in, sharing playlists, almost buying a dog, she packed up her toothbrush and left her key. Just like that. She said, "I need time to figure out who I really am." I asked, without me. She said nothing back. That silence was louder than goodbye. For months, I fooled myself. Told my friends we were on and off. Saved her number under "Do Not Text," like that ever stopped me. I tried dating again. Hollow conversations. Too much comparison. Too many, she wouldn't have said that, moments. Because loving her was like breathing, effortless when you have it, terrifying when it's gone. And then the day came. August 17th, 4:03 p.m. Phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But something pulled me to it. "Hello." It was quiet for half a second. Then I heard it. "Hey, it's me." My heart stopped. Her voice hadn't changed at all. Still soft. Still the kind that made you lean in even when she spoke from across the room. Are you okay?" I asked, standing up from the couch like she could see me. She exhaled slowly. "I'm calling from my wedding," she said. Pause. "Wait, what?" "It's today. I just needed to hear your voice once, before you know." I sat down. "Hard." She continued. "I know how unfair this is. I shouldn't be doing this to you, but I couldn't walk down the aisle without saying goodbye for real." I didn't speak. Because what do you say to someone who left you without explanation and came back just to close a door you never agreed to lock? She said she met him 5 weeks after we ended. They connected fast. Her family loved him. "I didn't know it would move this quickly," she said. But it felt like a sign I couldn't ignore. A sign. Was our love not a sign? I wanted to scream. Cry. Break something. But all I could do was listen. She apologized. Not for choosing someone else, but for not telling me sooner. And then came her final words. "I'll always care about you, but today's not about the past. I just needed to hear your voice one last time." Then silence. Call ended. No last word from me. No final sentence. Just an open line that went dead, while I sat in the apartment we once called home. Her perfume still lived in one of the blankets. I picked it up, pulled it close, and let the reality soak in. She wasn't mine anymore. And maybe she never really was. The next morning, I woke up thinking the call was a dream, or a nightmare, or a trauma flash that hit too good to be fake. But the call log was still there. 4:03 p.m. 4 minutes, 11 seconds. The only number I never deleted. I stayed in bed long enough to miss both my alarms. The sun had already climbed halfway up the window blinds, slicing lines of light across the couch where she used to nap on Sundays. I made coffee, didn't drink it. Opened the fridge, closed it again. Checked Instagram, nothing. Of course she wouldn't post. She was never that girl attention made her anxious. She called it her soft wall. She loved deeply but shared softly, only with people who really listened. I used to be one of those people. Now I'm just a memory, broadcast into a wedding aisle. I didn't tell anyone. Not at work, not my boys in the group chat. They thought we ended a long time ago. Moved on, they said. I smiled to keep the myth alive. But truth was, her nail polish was still in my medicine cabinet. Her spare sandals were still by the door. Not hidden, not forgotten. just untouched. I thought about texting her. Something chilled, safe. Like, wishing you the best today, or hope you find happiness. But what do you text someone you never stopped loving? Who just became someone else's forever? So I said nothing. I tried watching TV, but everything sounded like her voice. Cooking shows reminded me of our homemade pasta nights. Rom-coms made me want to throw my phone across the room. Even commercials tried to be cute couples planning honeymoons. Damn it, I muttered. Just stop. Days passed, but never really ended. I worked, ate, slept, laughed in public because people expect you to. But grief has a longer battery than hope. And mine was still full. One night, I got a voicemail from her mom. She didn't mention the wedding, just said she found a small canvas painting in her garage and thought I'd want it back. You two bought it on your Asheville trip, remember? I remembered. It was our first road trip. She picked the painting out from a roadside flea market, called it ugly cute, laughed at the colors, and said it matched nothing. That's why she liked it. I liked her because she could love things that didn't match. Even me. I called back later, but no one answered. Didn't leave a message. A few weeks later, I passed by the bakery we once called our Friday place. I stood outside. Didn't go in. Someone came out holding 2 cupcakes. I wondered who they'd eat them with. I hoped it was someone who wouldn't leave without warning. Because this city isn't what hurts. The weather didn't change. The bus routes still run. My key still turns in the lock. But nothing fits the same anymore. Because now I know. You can love someone with your whole chest. You can give them kindness, safety, space, language, and time. And they still might walk away. Not because you weren't enough, but because they needed something else they never told you about. And sometimes they don't come back. They just call you. From their wedding. It's been 3 months. The call doesn't hit the way it used to. No more waking up in a sweat thinking I missed another chance to fight for her. No more pretending she'll text just to check in. No more stalking the wedding registry. I deleted the call log. Not because I'm healed, but because I'm healing. It started with small things. Swapping the blanket she loved for a plain one. Returning the cupcake shop's loyalty punch card. Donating the books she left behind. Some people call it cold. I call it clearing space. My daughter asked about her once. Just once. Where did she go? She said while brushing scrambled eggs with ketchup. I looked out the window. Somewhere she felt more at home, I answered. She didn't ask again. Kids understand absence better than adults. One morning, there was a letter in my mailbox from her mom. Simple envelope, no big words. Inside was the painting. The ugly little rainbow, one from Asheville. Still chipped at the corner, still loud with too many colors. Attached was a note. Thought you should have this. She said it still smelled like your apartment. Says thank you for everything. That's all. I held the canvas like it was made of glass and memory. I didn't cry, but something inside felt like it finally sat down after standing too long. So I hung it. Not in the bedroom, not in the kitchen, but in the hallway near the front door, because sometimes closure isn't private. Sometimes it becomes the first thing you pass before leaving home, and the last thing you see before coming back to one. I don't hate her. I don't love her the same either. The version of me that would have waited. He's gone. The version that would have begged, explained, or cursed his way through loss. He's tired now. And maybe that's okay. I don't think love is always supposed to be loud. Sometimes it's a storm that teaches you where all the leaks are in your soul. And sometimes you don't patch them. You just move somewhere with better weather. I never got a second call. Never got a I'm sorry or I miss you. But I got up this morning, brewed coffee, and didn't check my phone. And that, to me, is closure. Peace isn't always fireworks. Sometimes it's when your screen stays silent, and you don't feel like dying when it does. If you've ever waited for someone to come back, if you've ever had your love mistaken for an apology, then you already know. Sometimes goodbye is just another way to give yourself back your life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Because even in silence, the truth has a voice.